Simple and plain, Kenya is the best country for Black Americans to live in 2025, 2026, 2027, 2055, 2095, just period. Kenya is honestly a utopia for Black Americans. Now, don't get me wrong, every place in the world has its, mishaps, its corruptions, its, things that may not be just. You get me? Now, I'm not saying that isn't true, but what I will say is just me being a Black American man or African American man, whatever you want to call me, I just feel very welcome, very at home, and I don't feel like a tourist. And that is the number one thing I need to just express to anybody that's watching this that's Black American, African American, or just whatever you want to, classify yourself as, but just being, a descendant of America in some way, fashion, form, whatever, right? You do not feel like a tourist here. You feel welcome. The people embrace you. The people show you nothing but love, and they actually want to get to know you as a person. And it's not always a thing where they feel like you have money, so they're trying to exploit that. Now, some people may try to exploit that because they think, oh, you're coming from the West, and they think people from America or Europe or whatever have money. And they're just trying to, use you. It's not always like that. But, you will run across some of those people that will do that. But at the same time, that's, far and few in between. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But back to the original topic, man. Kenya is definitely the place to be. And I advise anybody, and I always advise people, like, especially when I'm back in America, whoever I run across, if I tell them about my travels or if we just, spark communication, I'm always like, man, you got to go to Kenya. Kenya is definitely the vibe. The people are amazing. The hospitality is amazing. The culture is amazing. Just everything's amazing about Kenya. And I just, I put on that cape, for Kenya, very much so. And yeah, if you're watching this video and you are a Black American, I highly advise you to come out here and visit. And also, like some of you guys have seen, I do Airbnb and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about housing or whatever. Just, hit me up. I'll leave my socials, all that stuff below. I got luxury apartments out here, so we'll make sure that your stay is to standard. So just touching on a few more points on exactly why Kenya is the best place for Black Americans. So of course, like if you're in Atlanta or Houston or just a Black city in America, then of course what it's like to be around Black people like all the time because it's a Black city, right? But if you're coming from other places that don't have primarily Black culture or anything like that, then 9 times out of 10 coming out here, you will feel very, very, very in place. And you'll definitely feel the difference from being in America and being here, because here in Kenya, you literally can be yourself. I'm telling you, you don't have to look over your shoulder and worry about, am I finna get chased by police? Am I gonna die if I get stopped by police? You don't have any of those fears, you can literally just live your best life out here in Kenya. And that's what I want Black Americans to know. And come out here and invest in Kenya. I'm telling you guys, Kenya is the place to be. And also, I want you guys to come and network with local Kenyans. I'm not just saying come out here, be selfish, and only work with other Americans. But I will preface that by saying this. Some people could be very shady, and that could be American people could be shady, Chinese people could be shady, Kenyan people could be shady, anybody could be shady, right? But ultimately, it's up to you to know exactly what you want and to kind of, discern the good and the bad, because at the end of the day, everybody's out for self, so you got to watch out for that. But what I will say is, if you find a great group of people to network with and work with, then Kenya is definitely an amazing place for you to come and, start a business, start a family, just do basically anything that you could do in the West and do it here. You can do it 10 times better. And I'm not playing. I'm honestly telling you guys the truth. And I'm going to continue to stand on my soapbox and just shout out to the heavens. Black Americans, come to Kenya as soon as possible. And especially since, the recession is about to go on. You guys watching this like in current times, it's a lot of tariffs and a lot of stuff going on with Trump and stuff. So yeah, man, it's a lot of bad things going on in the current moment. So yeah, this definitely could be a breath of fresh air for you as a Black American. And I also wanted to touch on this topic of race relations when it comes to being Black in Kenya. Now, there's literally no race relations. You're just black. That's it. It's like you might be from America, you might be from Nigeria. They don't even really know sometimes where you're from, you know what I'm saying, until you speak. A lot of people think I'm Jamaican. A lot of people think I'm from either the UK or Brazil or something. You know, like they don't necessarily automatically go to, oh, you're American, all this, and that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like we just can't distinguish, you know, which part of Africa, you know, each person comes from. Because it's been people I thought were American and come to find out they're from Ghana, they're from Nigeria, they're Kenyan. You know what I'm saying? So same with them. They just can't differentiate. And I'm telling you, man, it's a great feeling to kind of be around your own people and, you know, just kind of embrace just the culture, the fun, the vibes, just all of it. And that's why I highly recommend all Black Americans to come out to Kenya. And another reason why Kenya is the best place for Black or African Americans to come and live is because you will get better self-development. And what I mean by that is you will literally be able to have some sense of self. Now, I know some people might be like, what do you mean sense of self? I know who I am, this, and that. And I'm telling you, brother or sister, I thought the exact same thing before I came out here. I thought, oh, I know this, I know who I am, I know blah, 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 blah. But when it came to me coming out here for my first time and just experiencing the love and just experiencing the culture, like real culture, I'm telling you, it's real culture, and just experience just like the flow of things, just how life is just happening and just moving and just, you know, all the stuff out here is completely different from America. And I'm telling you, it's an amazing self-development tool if you're trying to become a better person, if you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, come up with new ideas, if you're trying to, you know, start investing in different things, if you're trying to, you know, just have more of a social life. All of these things are possible out here. Now in America, especially when it comes to, you know, the social life thing, a lot of people are shady. It's a lot of fake thugs. It's a lot of real thugs. There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, thoughts. It's a lot of all this stuff. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, sweet women. It's a lot of, you know, traditional, genuine women. It's a lot of just all of that just mixed together, right? But like I was saying, here, you know, you'll be able to have more of a sense of just belonging. You get what I'm saying? There in America, it operates a certain way and it doesn't operate in our favor. It never has, and 9 times out of 10, it never will. And I hate to say it like that, but, you know, it's definitely set up for a lot of skin folks to, you know what I'm saying, fail out there, right? So that's basically why I'm out here advocating for, you know what I'm saying, Black Americans, African Americans to come out to the continent and just experience it. Now, maybe you might love it, maybe you might hate it, maybe it might be too much of a culture shock for you, but I'm just asking you to just come out here and just experience it and just say, you know, I've been to Africa, I didn't like it, it was this, it was that, blah, blah, blah. Well, at least you have the ability to say you actually stepped foot on the motherland. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man.